Okay, my friends, once again, it is indeed time to free your political mind as we discuss all things politics as it relates to Hartford, Connecticut, New England's rising star. Stick and stay, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. In the meantime, get on the phone, call up friends and family, tell them to tune in. It's Open Forum Thursday with me, your host, mayoral candidate J. Stan McCauley. How do you define evil? Is it the pedophile school administrator or taxation without representation? Is it the gatekeeping community leaders who sell out the very people they are fighting for? Or is evil the politician that puts out lies and takes in cash? However you may classify evil, having to choose the lesser of two evils still leaves you with evil. Nowhere does this rule apply more than during an election for mayor. Choosing a candidate that is the lesser of two evils still leaves you with evil. No wonder so many people don't vote. It's time for constituents to flip the script and vote for a mayor you can trust. My name is J. Stan McCauley. I approve this message, and I am asking you for your vote on Tuesday, November the 5th, 2019, in the general election. I, like you, am an independent thinker. So let's sit down and talk about my path to victory and why my plan for Hartford will work. Stop listening to the uninformed evil interests that tell you I can't win. For more information, visit McCauleyformayor.com. It's time to leave the plantation of party politics and free your political mind. Oh yes, indeed it is time to free your political mind. We invite you to sit back and relax for the next, hour or two or three, as the case may be. It's Open Forum Thursday with your host, Pastor Jason McCauley. Of course, a habit, I guess. I don't know. J. Stan McCauley, mayoral candidate J. Stan McCauley, all right? Get on the phone, call up friends and family, tell them to tune in. Today we're going to talk about things political here in the city of Hartford. The race for mayor is heating up. I want to remind everybody that I am not in the election on September the 10th. We are waiting to see who we will take on for the general election. We're already on the ballot, row B, B1, remember that, okay, B1, B, November 5th. We're calling for mayor. All right, but we're going to talk about some things here tonight as it relates to politics. I think I might pick up on the theme that I was on last week when we were talking about Hartford City Council race. Now, there's a lot of stuff being said about the people running for mayor, but there's almost like zero, like crickets, as it pertains to what is, without question, as equal to the mayor's office is our legislative branch on the local level. The municipal legislative branch in the city of Hartford is the city council, and there's no conversation about city council. There's no debate scheduled for city council. I would imagine there'll be some city council debates after the primary. But there aren't any leading up to the primary, and we have 18 people running for city council in the Democratic Party primary, which takes place September the 10th. All right, so that's September the 10th. Everybody should go out and, in my never to be humble opinion, vote for city council candidates. You need 5 plus 1, that's 6 city council candidates. All right. Is that better? There, I think I saw. There we go. Those are my 6. Those are my 6 candidates for city. These are the 6 I'm picking right here. I'm still debating on whether or not to tell you who they are. I think I might tell you who my 6 are. There's actually, I'm pretty sure There's one, at least one from each of the three slates. Okay, so I don't know whether that does more good or harm to pick council candidates. And for me to do it, but I'm going to give my endorsement. I don't think I might not do it this week. Maybe I'll do it next week or the week after. But I'm gonna let you know who my six picks are. My six picks are for city council. All right. I don't have a dog or pony in the race for mayor because I'm running for mayor. Okay. I'm old school. You don't vote for anybody but yourself when you're in the race. Ever. Right? Because once you put it out there that you're rooting for somebody other than yourself, it's in the public record. And trust me when I tell you, it'll come back to haunt you because people will play it. Well, if you thought so-and-so was good for the primary, why would you run against them in the general? See, so that no. So, you do what you think you have to do, but do what you need to do November the 5th. All right, November the 5th. I will go over all 18 members of the city council later on as we press our way. Want to remind you that we do have an opportunity for you to make questions or comments. All right, if you would like to talk on the air, put your phone number on the Facebook. On Facebook, the only way we communicate is through Facebook. So you put your phone number on Facebook so everybody can see what that number is in case you want to go south on me. And I will call you and we have a conversation like that. Okay, that's my workaround. Took a long time to figure out how do we work around this whole phone thing in a cyberspace world where people can spoof numbers, hide numbers, and all that other kind of stuff. And so if you really, really want to talk, okay, unless you know me well enough to know the number and think that I will pick it up if I see your name or something like that, which is not likely, then you may take a chance. But if you put your phone number in the comment section, I will call you if you feel the need to talk on the air. All right. Other than that, if you have a question or a comment, remark, or criticism, you can type it up right there in the comment section. Everyone will see it, including myself, and I will respond to whatever comments you make, whatever questions you ask. All questions are fair, and so is the answer. None of your business. Okay, so you can ask whatever question you want. There's no prohibition on questions. Okay. I want to also remind you that as mayor, I will continue to do this program on a weekly basis, live every Thursday night from 10 o'clock until we run out of reasonable time. I would be committed to being here from 10 to 2 p.m. That's a 4-hour window. We're not going to stay till 2, but I would if there were questions coming in. And when we would do that program, of course, we would take your live calls because the calls, we'd have a call screener and we'd make sure that people that called were vetted and you could get on the air. Okay? So that's, after January. But we won't worry about that right now. Okay? Today we're going to go over the 5-point plan. I had the pleasure of being a guest on Jen Bernstein's and Al Terzi's program, The Real Story, and that program will air this Sunday at 10 o'clock. I'm in the second segment, and you may want to tune in for the whole program. There was another candidate on as well as myself, but I'm in the second segment, and I think you will be, weigh it out for yourself what you thought in terms of my commentary and answering the questions of a reporter, Jen Bernstein, and Al Terzi from Fox 61's Real Story. Okay, and they asked me about one of my more controversial items in my 5-point plan, and I thought what I would do is I'd spend today going over the 5-point plan. Okay, so today we're going to go over the 5-point plan. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, this is the 5-point plan. All right, you can look it up on the website. All right, It's at McCauleyforMayor.com. That's McCauleyforMayor.com. There is no other website for a mayoral candidate as extensive, as information-packed as mine. I say that without fear of contradiction. There are hundreds of hours of programming where we have conversation. The development of the 5-point plan is there. The answers to the 11 questions from the current is there. The questions from the Hartford Transportation group are there, and my answers to them. There are conversations with constituents there. Our TV commercials are all there. All right, we've been running commercials for some time now on social media. And there's coverage of debates there, answers there. So, and plus, if all else fails, you can always call me at my number. My number is 860-944-9797. If you call me, I'll answer the phone. I'll have conversation with you. And there's no reason for you not to know where I stand on any issue. You don't have to hear someone tell you what my stance is. You can actually call and I will tell you. And I have no problem telling you my response live. If you want to get together at a Dunkin' Donuts or something like that and you want to stream my answers live, I have no problem with that. I don't have any problem telling you where I stand on any position. I don't have to worry about backpedaling or saying the wrong thing and cleaning it up later on. All right. So with me, you get what you get. I'm the real deal. You're not going to get no more realer a person in this field of constituent representation than me. So it's up to you to do your part, to do the research. At the very least, call with whatever questions you have. So we're going to go over the 5-point plan. All right. But before we do that, I want to share with you my view of the plantation. Exactly what is the plantation that I'm always talking about? Plantation party politics.
So you want to know what the machine is? Well, let me tell you. The machine is a system of municipal government in Hartford, Connecticut that I refer to as plantation party politics. That plantation is our enemy. But when you're living on the plantation, you look around you. What do you see? You see businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very people whose political minds we are trying to free. But until we do, those people are still part of the plantation, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to free their political minds. And many of them are so inured, so hopelessly dependent on the plantation that they will fight to the death to protect it. Were you listening to me, or are you paying attention to the rewards of the plantation? You see, this spot is produced to teach you one thing. If you are not an independent thinker, then your mind has not been freed from the plantation of party politics. And that means that you are one of them. They are the political operatives of the machine. They can move in and out of any city department, business, nonprofit agency, authority, church, or religious institution that is funded by city, state, or federal dollars, because they are still supported by the political plantation. That means anyone whose mind we have not freed is potentially a political operative of the machine. On the plantation of party politics, they are everyone and they are no one. Independent thinkers have survived by hiding from them, by running from them, by laying in the cut, staying in the shadows. But they are the gatekeepers. They are guarding all the doors. They are holding all the keys. They have all the combinations to all the safes. But sooner or later, someone is going to have to stand up to them and fight them. I won't lie to you. Every single man or woman who has stood their ground, everyone who has fought against the machine or their political operatives, has been fired, transferred, or run out of town. But where they have failed, you, like me, will succeed. Look, I've seen political operatives take jobs away from people's kids. Men have taken them to court, and every single time that they do, they wind up losing everything. Yet their bark and their bite are still based in a world that is built on rules, regulations, favors, and relationships. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as effective as you can be. My name is J. Stan McCauley. I approve this message, and I am an independent thinker. And what I'm trying to tell you is that you won't have to fight the machine or its political operatives if you leave the plantation of party politics and free your political mind. All you have to do to escape is vote on November 5th for an independent thinker. Don't you think it's time to free your political mind? For more information, visit McCauleyformayor.com.
Oh yes, free your political mind and escape the plantation of party politics. All right, that means you're gonna have to think for yourself. You know, think of it like you go out to dinner. You know, something like Sylvia's in New York, or Mama Leone's, or some other restaurant. And you get there, and just about when you're ready to place your order, someone tells you, whoa, he ain't having that. She ain't having that. All right? They not having that, okay, for the abonically challenged. I think that this individual would rather have this on the item. You know, so you don't need someone to pick your dinner selection for you, pick your wine selection for you, right? You have the capacity to do that yourself. Why would you, in God's name, need to have somebody pick your political leadership for you? That's an over-dramatization of listening for crickets. Why would you need to have someone tell you who to vote for? Okay? I don't want you taking people's word for it when it comes to me. There'll be lots of people telling you, you should vote for Stan. And I agree with them 100%. But don't take their word for it. See, no one else is going to tell. No other candidate running for office is going to even dare to tell you that. Because to them, you're just a vote. Nothing more, nothing less. You're not their charity. You are not their cause. You are a vote. And once the election is over, guess what? As far as they're concerned, you can go home, mind your little business until the next 3.5 years when they need you to come out and do something like cast a ballot to make sure that they continue their existence in the political realm. I am applying to work for you. It's your government. It's not my government. It's not the Democratic Party's government. It's not the Republican Party's government. It's not the Green Party's government. It's not the Working Families Party's government. It's not the Hartford Party's government. It's not the Community Party's government. It's your government. It's not the Independent Party's government. It's not the Libertarian Party's government. It's your government. You are the constituents. And while a third party may have the privilege of managing the government affairs, they do so on your behalf. So whoever's elected, it's up to you to hold them accountable. So you've got to do some research. You got to dig a little bit. Find out, who are these people who purport to want to represent you? Who are they? What have they done? What is their vision? What is their plan to move the city forward? And how much of the plan is their plan? And how much of the plan was developed with people like you, your neighbors? Can they talk about the plan off the top of their head? Or are they afraid of going off script? See, these are critical questions that you need to ask everybody who's running for office. All right. So this program, of course, is designed to empower those of you out there that are independent thinkers with that which you need to, adequately stand your ground against the people who have not freed their minds. Because they will come at you with every reason why you shouldn't vote for Stan. But then their minds aren't free. So what would you expect? So today we're going to go over the 5-point plan. I'm going to read it like it is here. I know the plan inside and out, but I want to stay focused. I have a tendency to go a little long-winded and get diverted. Okay, so I'm going to read the plan because this is the same plan that is on the website at McCauleyformayor.com/plan. All right, so if you go to the website and /plan, it'll take you there. If you just go to McCauleyformayor.com and click on the 5-point plan, it'll take you here. Now, if you click on the 5-point plan, not only will it take you to the plan, but it'll take you to some of the rationale as I've talked about this on the air. All right, I've talked about this on the air. We developed the plan on the air, walked you through how we were coming to our conclusions. All right, because the plan ultimately came as a result of me hearing the voices of the city of Hartford for the last 37 years talk about ideas that people have, visions that they have, dreams, hopes, and aspirations that they have, that the constituents have. And the frustration of Hartford residents to elect people and elect people and elect people, whether they be on council or whether they be in the executive branch as the mayor, and then no one listens to the ideas that people have, even if it's an education. All right. There have been educators in this city that have had visions for what to do to turn Hartford schools around, only to be pushed to the side and mocked because they have an idea that may go against the grain. But they know it'll work. But their government works against them. All right. Well, it's time out for that. It's absolutely time out for that. The constituents are tired of the status quo of you elect someone and then they forget about you because you were not their cause. You were not their charity. And they don't want to see you knocking on their door. They don't want they don't want you to call them and ask them questions. All right. And I'm fully understand, and I'm not naive to the fact that, one human being can only talk to so many people at a time in the course of the day if you're going to get anything done. Trust me, I talk to people all day long. I have been doing that for the last 37 years. That's part and parcel of what I do for a living. I listen to people. Okay. But I've listened to Hartford. And Hartford has hopes, dreams, and aspirations. And they have visions and things that they would like to see for their communities. And so this plan was developed with those voices in mind. This plan was developed with those voices in my ear talking to me as we developed this plan. So my plan really is the plan of the people who I've been listening to for the last 37 years, which is you all out there, the city of Hartford, bold individuals who came forward with ideas and suggestions that they would like to see. And that's what this plan is. It's been in play for, I think, maybe since March of this year. So the plan has been solid since then in this particular format and form. All right. So the 5-point plan. Priority number 1, education and youth development. I believe the education can be transformative, right? That education can be transformative, and that it can be transformed to meet the needs of every child in our city. It is a moral imperative, the moral imperative of our day. Can we zoom in so y'all can read what I'm reading? Oh, stop. Pull out. All right, let's see. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, that's kind of like my fault, I guess. Yeah, I gotta own that. Okay, let's zoom in. Nah, you can't really see this. So, I mean, I'm reading it. You can go to the website and see it. I mean, ultimately, I guess I could pull the website up and show you this, but we're not gonna go. We're not gonna go all there. I'll just read it. All right, you all have to trust me. You can go to the website and read it yourself. Okay, I like for people to see what I'm reading so they know exactly what I'm reading. They can see it for themselves. Okay, but you can check this out. Go online, McCauleyFromAir.com/plan. Okay. Education is the moral imperative of our time and a true pathway out of poverty. I was a public school kid. This tells my story, this, that, and the third. I don't think we need to go into all that other stuff. Okay. I believe that education can be transformative and that it can transform and meet the needs of every child in our city. All right. As mayor, I will address the following. Get to the meat of it. We don't need the backstory. If you're reading it for the first time, I'm not going to read that to you. These are the important points. I would appoint department heads. Now, this is admittedly controversial. It's controversial, but this is where I stand. Okay, I don't believe it's a good idea to sit on the Board of Education as the mayor. All right, because the mayor has a full-time job of running the city. The mayor is not a legislator, and a board member is a legislator. The board of Education is the legislative body. Okay, and the superintendent's office would be the executive body. All right, so the board legislates, it makes policies, develops, on the grand scale, policies and procedures, and of course, does the budget. All right, so the mayor needs to run the city. Now, the Department of Education is a department of the city. All right, the responsibility for education belongs to the state of Connecticut, according to Connecticut State Constitution, Chapter 8, I believe. Okay, so I would appoint department heads. Now, I know department heads have a full-time job too. But department heads are employees. And I believe they need to have some skin in the game. And I say that to say this. All of my department heads need to have a vested interest in the city. I would like for all of them to volunteer. But these 5, as a condition of employment, I say that right now on the record. It's already on the record because I've said it earlier. And I said it tonight on Fox 61. As a condition of employment, these folk gonna volunteer sometime on the Board of Education. Because everybody that is part of the administration, in terms of being department heads, has to be active, engaged, and passionate about making Hartford New England's rising star, moving Hartford forward, transforming Hartford, the entire city. All right. When I talk about moving Hartford forward, when I talk about transforming Hartford, it should be a self-evident truth that I'm talking about the whole city. I'm not talking about one part over the other. We're not going to talk about downtown. We're not going to talk about neighborhood. We talk about the whole city. All right. Heretofore, downtown seem to get a lot of the attention, and then you leave the children at home. So it's like parents going on vacation and leave the kids home. The whole family's going on vacation. Hartford is a family. And it has family dynamics. There's folk that don't get along, folk angry at folk, little feuding within the family, but that's not but we're not going to allow that to rip Hartford apart. Okay? So the department heads have to be as intentional about that outcome as I am. Or they won't be in my administration. And I don't subscribe to the notion, the ridiculous, foolish notion, the insulting
idea that you can't find people who want to work in Hartford. 280 million Americans, Indians. Alexa, what's the population of the United States?
According to the CIA World Factbook, as of 2017, the population of the United States is 327 million people. Other customers have also asked, what's the population of China? Would you like to know the answer?
No. $300+ million people. You've got 300 million people live in the United States. 380, right? 380 million people live in the United States. Did she say 380 or 350? 380? Alexa, how many people live in the United States?
According to the CIA World Factbook, as of 2017, the population of the United States is 327 million people.
327 million people. You notice she didn't ask me the backup question because I told her no the first time, so there's no sense in asking the second time. Alexa gets smarter every time you ask it a question. It's learning. All right. So 327 million people in the qualified people who have a passion for Hartford to be line deliverable for the mayor. Period. To be able to staff your departments. Because, of course, the constituents elect the mayor to be the chief executive of the city, and then it's the chief executive's job to find qualified individuals to help him execute his qualified department heads. It shouldn't be mayor. Period. Period. Help meet some lofty objective. Be amenable to being yelled at. Those kinds of people are difficult to find. Action does. And a passionate heart from these departments, Department of Families, Children, Youth, and Recreation, I would have those 5 department heads sit on the Board of Education. Yes, it is controversial. They could sit on the board. It's going to be these. And part of that rationale is to deal with another priority that I have in our realignment of Hartford's priorities, and that is the absolute necessity of being intentional about working outside of silos. Hartford is a city of silos. It's almost so bad that there's a silo for every block. Right? Every physical, geographical block in Hartford's almost a silo unto itself. You know, all of the nonprofits are silos. Sometimes even different schools become silos in and of themselves. Everything is working to serve the bureaucracy of those in the silo. When there's a discussion, it becomes an echo chamber because the only people talking to each other are people who have the exact like mind. And the like-mindedness is not beneficial to serving the general public when there is such a diversity of thought. So if in order to get along, everybody has to be on the same page and like-minded in their idealistic, philosophical approach to problems, then we have a problem. Because then there is no freedom of thought. There is no crunching of ideas. There's no give and take. There's no back and forth. There's no compromise. That is an essential part of governance in America. That's why the system's set up the way it is. A lot of people don't want to have to prove their idea is good. A lot of people don't want to have to back up an idea and sell it. If the idea is good, if the idea is right, then guess what? It'll work its way out. Why? Because cream rises to the top. So if the idea is good, it can withstand the toughest criticism. All right? But we have a lot of people who can't stand criticism of any on any level whatsoever. I don't know whether you're calling in to the live television program or not. If you are, you're more than welcome to talk. But if you are not, I can call you back. Would you like me to call you back, or do you want to talk on the air?
I'm sorry, were you talking to me?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you say? I didn't even hear you. I just heard talking in the air.
I says you're calling in to my live television program, and I don't know if I don't know that that's your intent. If it is, you're more than welcome to talk. If not, I can call you back.
Yeah, well, call me back, please. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, not a problem. Okay. All right. So, we have to move beyond these silos. All right. So, I would appoint these 5 people. Now, I don't know what the other department heads are going to do. I would like for them to do something. But these 5, condition of employment. Now, that may make it a little bit difficult to get them. But, we went to the moon. We have ships that sail under the water, submarines. We have open heart surgery, brain surgery. Finding qualified staff that go meet these qualifications. I don't consider that going to the moon. It's not that difficult. Okay. I would appoint an education chief as mayor. My first priority, youth and children. I'd appoint an education chief to execute on an education agenda for the city by forming strategic public-private sector partnerships and fostering coordination between youth servicing organizations. Be the connector across all facets of education, youth development programs, parents, residents, businesses, and community leader involvement. That would be my education chief. That's one of the things I would do as mayor as it relates to education. I would expand support to teachers. Our current system is leaving everyone frustrated and burnt out. Let's start a new conversation. I don't really like conversations, but sometimes they are needful because we're exploring an area that we need to really, do some crossing some bridges so we can get things together. I don't do endless conversations. And when I talk about here, let's start a new conversation, I mean with the intent of getting something solved by the end of the week. To me, a conversation isn't something you have for a year or two and involves 6,000 people. As the elected leader of the city, it is my job to move agendas forward. So when I talk about conversations, I mean with the parties that are necessary, like teachers and the union. Okay? So we can move an agenda forward for the good of the constituents for whom I work. I can't speak to who all those other folk work for, but I know who I work for. And my constituents have a reasonable expectation of achieving the things that, that they hoped would be delivered when they voted for somebody. Okay? Current system's leaving everyone frustrated, burnt out. Let's start a new conversation by working with the union and saying, in this city, our teachers or your teachers are outgunned. When you signed up to teach, you didn't sign up for this. You expected a lot more support. You can't extinguish a 5-alarm fire or blaze with a fire extinguisher. I'll work with you and with the administration, superintendent, All right. And with private sector to rally the resources you need to get additional training and support so that you can be the most effective teachers in the classroom. And when I talk about training and support, I mean training. I'm not a fan of sending people off because a lot of people just like training. They love seminars. It's like a vacation for the intellectuals. They go and they're stimulated because they're around other people who think like they think and will challenge them. Iron sharpens iron in any endeavor. And you're not going there to get sensitivity training, this, that, and the third. And if you touch, you feel it. You're going there so that you can learn something, master it, bring it back to the classroom, and up the education game. If that's not happening, we got a serious problem. Because we cannot afford to take a year and a half to train somebody to do what they should be able to do when we hire them. So the compromise for me is this. The people that are there are outgunned. They may need some help. What's the help you need? How can I get that help for you? I'll get the resources you need. Once I've delivered what it is you say you need, now you need to deliver to me what you're going to do with the items I delivered to you to accomplish the task. If that can't be done, then you're in the wrong profession, or I've made a gross error in hiring the wrong people. Either way, it's my fault because I'm the mayor. I'm not the guy that puts the blame on someone else. It's my fault. Everything's my fault. From people that get hit by cars, to people that get shot and murdered on the streets, to whatever problems came with the job. My fault. All of it. Period. So now, that's out of the way. How are we going to fix this? All right. I want things to get better. Who's going to help me get things better? You, and you. Oh, your department. Right. That's right. Right. So we're going to work on this intentionally together to make things better, and they will get better. If they don't get better, then I have the wrong people around me. And if I get another group of people around me and things don't get better, then maybe the problem isn't them. The problem might very well be me. But that's the kind of intentional approach you need if you're going to get a problem solved. Part of leadership is taking the responsibility of being responsible for what does not work. And politicians have a hard time accepting responsibility for the things that aren't working because they're not concerned about those who they serve. It's just an ends to a mean to the next step. So you look bad politically. So rather than look bad politically, people lie, they distort, give false narratives about something that everyone can plainly see is different than what they're saying, but that's what they're saying, and so the press runs with it, and next thing you know, you've got people believing a lie. How is that helpful for moving forward things that need to be done? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right? And so, Hartford, you're the ones that really have, this election, by the way, I know I'm jumping all over the place. This election is not about me. I'm going to mention my opponent's names. It's a major no-no, but I'm going to do it just for this one time. This election is not about me. This election is not about Mayor Luke Bronin. It's not about Mayor Eddie Perez. It's not about State Representative Brandon McGee. It's not about Dr. Aaron Lewis, okay, or Michael Downs. Those are the only people that I know of that are actually going to be on the ballot in November. From what I know, there may be some more people. All right. But it's not about any of those people. It's about you. It's not even about the 18 people running for city council. It's about you, Hartford. Hartford is going to make a statement to the rest of the states, to the other 168 towns in this state. They're watching this race with intensity to figure out where are the people in Hartford. Are they independent in their thinking? Do they have the capacity to be self-governed by electing leadership that is going to be held accountable and deliver? That's not politically correct, but I'm not here to be politically correct. Leadership often is not politically correct. All right? And so we need to be intentional in getting something done here in the city of Hartford. And that happens through real and honest talk. All right? Promote full implementation of student success plans. Planning to graduate is not enough. Our students must graduate with a plan, and that plan must be created with the help of as many caring adults from the residential, private sector, and private sector as possible. I would call for dream directors in every school. Exposure and aspiration are the key. Dream directors are youth development experts who will spark the curiosity, propose, and imagine purpose and imagination to uncover our students' limitless potential. They train students to become leaders, to engage their peers, and shift the culture of the school. All right? And so folk would say, well, where are you going to get the money from? But the budget's already there. Part of the mayor's ability to appoint people to the board is to make sure that agendas are followed. All right? You're the mayor and you have no political muscle on the Board of Education? I'm just keeping it real, folks. I don't know. I'm in a keep it real mood. All right? You're the mayor and you don't have any political muscle on the Board of Education to move an agenda forward that moves what's in the best interest of our students. And the reasonable facsimile thereof, which is as fake as a $4 bill during the election season, doesn't cut the mustard. I can say that without fear of contradiction because I've seen enough Board of Education meetings and heard enough from people that are in the system to know what the administration has really done in an effort to move an agenda forward for Hartford Public Schools. Address remediation. Our kids are behind and we must provide additional supports to catch them up as a community. We must work together and summon an army of academic resources to wrap around our kids. There's mosques, there's synagogues, there are churches in our community, there are community groups in our community. You've got groups like the Urban League, the NAACP. Once again, people working outside of silos with intention can work together to move things forward. We have companies. We have small businesses. Kids take the bus to school. Some kids take the public school bus system, and others take public transportation. Everybody has to be on board for making education meaningful and for the young people to have a thirst and a hunger for it that pushes everybody involved in helping them succeed. From the bus driver to the guy who owns the corner shop, that when he sees a kid come in at 11 o'clock, he asks, why aren't you in school? And they go outside and some guy on the street who looks like a panhandler is asking them, why aren't you in school? The whole community has to think in terms of the most important thing that we have in this city are our youth. And if we're not trying to move them forward with intention, then we have failed. Now, I don't mean any of this legislative BS talk where folks sound good but don't deliver nothing. I'm a deliverable kind of guy. I want to see an end product. Otherwise, I am wasting my time. Talk is cheap. I've been watching people talk for 37 years. Talk is the cheapest thing going. All right, because it doesn't do anything. Youth development as a city priority. I think I kind of just went over it. I'm getting ahead of myself. Developing our youth, our young people, is not a school issue alone. There are issues. These are issues for the community. They are citizens of our city. They are with us before school, after school, nights and weekends, and all summer. We are largely overlooking the insights and potential of our city's most important constituents, our future leaders. We can create civically engaged adults starting now by inviting young people to the urban planning and policy making table. Kind of went into that. All right. Kickstart school governance councils. Fully support functioning SGCs in every school as a primary means of engaging the community in parental involvement. All right. And that, I could go into that for like 2 hours. Okay. So that the school governance councils involve elections, involve civic engagement, and getting people active and engaged. And yeah, it may make things more difficult for those who don't like any resistance when they try to move an agenda forward. All right, but they're not the school system schools. It's not the city's schools. It's the constituent schools. And to the degree that our most important constituents are our youth, you know, they're owners. They own the school system. They're not customers. They own the school system. The school system is there to benefit them, to educate them. And quite frankly, it has been failing. All right. I guarantee you in the McCauley administration, that's going to come to an end. Let's see what we have here in terms of questions. There is one here. Donald Pageant asks, Stan, I was just at Batterson Park. They are trying to restore it. What are your concerns and how will you support the effort to restore Batterson Park? Well, that's a good question. Yeah, there's a Batterson Park Conservancy or a group of individuals that are, taking on the issue of Batterson Park. It belongs to the City of Hartford. Some of it has been, I think, sold off to the Pension Commission under the Sagara administration. And there's always at every election cycle, individuals, some I know, that would like to see Batterson Park sold. I think the Batterson Park is a jewel that could be a very, very viable asset to the city of Hartford. Assets don't always have to be something that generate income. For the people who look at Hartford just as a corporate ledger where everything is a bottom line, all right, the city can't be moving forward if there isn't, some sort of a bottom line. Quality of life is like a sub issue of the real issues. When I think quality of life is as important as Hartford's revenue stream. Okay. And so I would seek to restore Batterson Park. I would make it something that the city actively is engaged in and exercises agency as it relates to ownership. And it needs to be funded in terms of maintenance. Someone was talking to me. I don't know whether these numbers are right, but I'd have to work them out. And it's not something that I would work out. It's something that experts would work out. I think there's a danger of expecting the mayor to be able to do everything. We need transparent aluminum, Mr. Mayor. When are you going to come up with the formula? We have a whole department, a finance department. We have a personnel department, and we have a public works department who should be able to figure out in 20 minutes what it would cost to maintain that on an annual basis. And to me, if the annual cost is somewhere in the area of maybe $50,000 to $100,000, and someone told me it would take about between $75,000 and $100,000 to bring it up to speed. I don't know how true that is, because of course I haven't crunched any of those numbers or had anybody crunch those numbers for me. But I think it would be reasonable to, once the thing is up and running and reestablished, maintenance is essential. Otherwise, you get into where the costs become enormous. But all that having been said, Alexa, what is 150,000 divided by $5?
150 times 1,005 US dollars is equivalent to an amount of money of about 27,100 euros.
Alexa, how many US dollars? Never mind. New question. It's not the device, it's me. All right. Smarter questions, right? We have a whole card built around that. Smart questions, smart answers. If you want a certain answer, you have to ask the right question. I'm not asking the right question. I think this is the smart card. Nope. It's a 5-point plan card. Think. Alexa, what is 10,000?
Sorry, can you say that again?
What is $5 times 50,000?
$5 times 50,000 is 250,000 US dollars.
So 250,000 US dollars. So 50,000. Alexa, what is 50,000 divided by never mind, cancel. Let me get my question together. 30 is 60, 60, 120. Alexa, what is...
Sorry, what was that?
What is 50,000 divided by 120?
50,000 divided by 120 is 416.6667.
416. 416 people a day for 120 days. Alexa, what is 416 times...
400 plus 16 equals 416.
Alexa, what is 416 times $5?
416 times 5 US dollars is 2,080 US dollars.
2,080 US dollars. 416 times 5. All right. Alexa, can you repeat that answer?
I cannot repeat this stream.
Alexa, what is 416 divided by 5 times 5?
416 divided by 5 times 5 is 416.
Now, bear with me, y'all. It's been a very long day. This is why my wife tries to get me to get more than 3 hours of sleep a night. All right. Alexa, what is 416 times 5?
416 times 5 is 2080.
2080. All right. So it's $2,080 a day. Alexa, what is 2,080 times 120?
2080 times 120 is 249,600.
249,600. So $5 a day per person for 416 people is $249,000. We'll round it up to $250,000. Now, $250,000 should cover the maintenance cost of Batterson Park. 120 days. That's 4 months. Okay? So if you can get over the course of a year, all right, I work with 4 months. Let's say it's only open 4 months. But if it's open for 4 months, worst case scenario, and $5 per person at 416 people at Batterson Park. Now, I don't know how many people it can hold, but I'm just ballparking. 400 people is not a lot of people. Okay, that's really not a lot of people. Alexa, what is 416 divided by 4?
416 divided by 4 is 104.
104. Okay? So that's 104 carloads. So 104 carloads of 4 people at $5 a person will more than cover the cost. Now, there will be those who say, well, if I live in Hartford, can't I go to the beach for free? No. Because we got to pay for it. Okay? And so someone's got to pay for it. If the beach goers don't pay for it, then the taxpayers have to pay for it, and you are the taxpayers. Okay? It's a worthwhile $5 per person to go to the beach for the whole day. Picnic tables, barbecue, well maintained, nicely kept. All right. Wickham Park charges in Manchester, East Hartford, Manchester line, Wickham Park. All right. They have weddings out there. They charge. Okay. So we could do the same thing with Batterson Park. I wouldn't want to do that for Keeney Park. I wouldn't want to do it for Goodwin Park or any of the parks that are in Hartford proper, Bushnell, right? In Hartford proper. But that park belongs to us. It's in Farmington. And there's no reason why the park can't at least generate enough revenue to pay for itself as an asset of the city that could be utilized for the citizens of Hartford. How much time we spent on that? 15 minutes? Why is Batterson Park a problem? See, a question like that for me as mayor, from staff, is almost grounds for you being terminated. Because to me, this is not a problem. It has been made into a problem, but there should be no problem here. And there are a lot of things in Hartford that are like that. It's absurd and ridiculous. Which is one of the reasons why I'm running for mayor, because I have a very low threshold for this kind of stuff. And after 37 years of seeing it, witnessing it, I'm kind of fed up. Because it can be done better. There's no reason why Hartford is dysfunctional, inept, and incompetent. And the towns around it don't run like that. Yeah, we got poor people here. Poor people don't by default mean incompetent and inept. It means they don't make a lot of money. All right, there's a lot of rich people that don't think right. Right? So the quality of one's capacity to think has nothing to do with how much money one makes. Poor is a financial issue. Poverty, on the other hand, is another subject for another day. Okay? Hartford has a lot of poor people. But we can change their status as it relates to poor by creating an atmosphere where they can actually earn money and get a job. And I don't mean like go out and get a job. I mean create an atmosphere that brings the type of jobs individuals that live within the city of Hartford can do, execute. And they're out there, my friends. They are out there. Social enterprise. There's so many different things that could be done to empower the citizens of Hartford that find themselves trapped in a cycle of poverty because they don't make any money. Hartford's a city in deep distress. It's a distressed city. It's financially distressed. But we could change that. And we change it with the understanding that for some people, that change is going to make their life difficult and uncomfortable because they make their money off of the poor. If you make your money off of poor folk, then you got to find something else to do.
Every bad political decision is made by a politician elected to office. So if you think your vote doesn't matter, just remember this. There are people sitting with politicians in a back room making deals about your future, making policies about your children, making decisions about your neighborhood. To them, you are just a vote. You are not their charity. You are not their cause. You are just a vote. Elections have consequences, and if you don't vote, you are actually voting to keep these people in power to work against you. Now, more than ever, you need to make your vote count. It is time to clear the air and vote for a mayor who is unbought, unbossed, trusted, and accountable to you, the constituent. My name is J. Stan McCauley. I am an independent thinker, and I approve this message. I'm asking you for your vote on Tuesday, November the 5th, 2019, in the general election for mayor of the City of Hartford. For more information, visit McCauleyformayor.com. Declare your independence from the plantation of party politics and free your political mind.
That was a good question. I hope I answered it. Yeah, I don't see where it would take a whole lot to keep that thing up and running and doing good. There may be some other reasons why it seems to be in disrepair. Maybe there are people who just don't want folk from Hartford coming out there. I don't know. Nothing happens in a vacuum. There's a reason for everything, particularly in the capital city, because remember, never ever forget this, that Hartford is the capital of Connecticut. And as such, every single decision in Hartford is a political decision. Every decision. Nothing happens in Hartford in a vacuum. Okay? If you have a question, comment, criticism, whatever the case may be, I'm here to provide you with an opportunity to state it, ask it, whatever the case is, by going to Facebook and taking part in the Facebook, comment section, and I will answer whatever comments that you have. Okay. Want to remind you that this Sunday on Fox 61 WTIC Fox 61. The Real Story with Jen Bernstein and Al Terzi will be airing at 10 o'clock. And I had the opportunity and the privilege to be a guest on their program. I'll be in the second segment. Encourage you to watch it. And if you liked what you heard, try to find it online. and share it with friends and family so that they too can be in the know. Also, want to remind you, if you have a question or a comment about anything that I say or about our campaign, you can always call me. 860-944-9797. My campaign has always been a campaign where you can actually call me. I have very capable, very, very capable people working on the campaign. But I am of the mindset that you should be able to go to the guy that's at the top until he gets to a place where it's no longer practical for him to have conversations with just folks calling every minute of the day. All right. That time has not come yet. And so I always want to give people opportunity to reach out and touch me in terms of getting, a conversation. And I'm available most hours of the day. Some people don't work 9 to 5. Maybe you're up late. So you can call. You're a constituent. You have a question as it pertains to the campaign and the City of Hartford and what I think about stuff. Call me. You can call and ask. I've had that policy for 37 years. If you have a question, call me. I've done live television like this for 37 years, specifically so you can actually call me. You don't have to, hear through the grapevine. You don't have to wonder whatever or what if. No, call and ask. That way, everyone gets a chance, and it also helps those of you out there that are supportive of what we do. It gives you the power to say to anybody that's a critic, call Stan. Call him. Here's his phone number. Call him. I'll call him for you. You can talk on my phone. Call him. I am the singular easiest person to reach. I call everybody back. Everybody. And I call people back very soon and very quickly because my schedule is such that if I don't call them back within a certain window, I will never ever have an opportunity to call them. So I return calls quickly. All right. I return calls quickly. Email's not the best way to reach me. Text is a good way to ask a real quick question. All right. But email, that's probably the worst way to try to reach out to me because I don't have time to plow through email and find yours. And I don't know that it is yours. To me, it's just something there. So I don't check email every 5 minutes. I check email at the beginning and the end of the day. I might check in from time to time if somebody says they sent me something. Okay, and I scan through to see if there's something that stands out. Other than that, nope. So if you want to get in touch with Stan, call me on the phone. I can keep a conversation short. All right. So call me on the phone. I can keep a conversation short. All right. I think I think that's it. I went over priority number 1 on my 5-point plan. I'll be here for another 4 hours going over the other 4. Okay. And it's already on the website, so I wouldn't have to do this over and over again. So you can go back on these programs and look at television programs where we went over in detail our 5-point plan. All right. So before we go, let me go over who's running for city council once again. And I'm gonna hopscotch around, or no, I'm gonna go from the top to the bottom of what I have here on my sheet. Jimmy Sanchez, Thomas Clark, Molly Rosado, Shirley Surgeon, Nick LeBron, Marilyn Rossetti, Suzanne Beckett, Tiana Hercules, Frederick Bentley III, Corey Betts, okay, Gabe Glorabel Diaz, Eliezer Marcado, Arjo Wench, Edward Caceres Jr., Claudette Graham, Gladys Rivera, Rafael Santiago, and Ronald Simpson. Those are the 18 people running for city council. those people appear on 3 different slates. Okay? They are running with different individuals who head the tickets that they're on. Those individuals, of course, are mayoral candidates. I'm not going to mention who's running with what candidate or what row they are on. Look for the name of the person that you believe will best do the job of being a mayor. To me, that's the best way to pick at least 3. The other 3 can be, they don't have to necessarily have being mayor quality. All right. But you should pick at least 3 people running for city council on the basis of would they make a good mayor. Why? Because the president of the council, the president of the Hartford City Council will be one of these 18 people. Mark my word. The president of the next city council will be one of these 18 people. And the president of the city council becomes the mayor of the city if the mayor should be unable to fulfill his or her role as the chief elected official of the city. So whoever is the president of the council is next in line to become mayor. That is how important city council is. Because the city council will vote for its own president. There will be some political pressure put on people, phone calls will be made, but at the end of the day, the city council will vote from amongst its membership of 9, one individual to become president of the council. There are 2 people running who have been president of the council in the past. Those are Arjo Wench and TJ Clark, Thomas Clark II. All right, TJ Clark, Thomas Clark. So Thomas Clark has been council president, and Arjo Wench, Councilwoman Arjo Wench, she has been president of the Hartford City Council in the past. Okay, so one of these people is going to become, one of these 18 people is going to become the next city council president. So of the 18 people running, who would you pick to be council president? Think if you don't do anything else, think of who you would vote for to be like the vice mayor. Of the people running for city council, who would you pick to be vice mayor or council president? Okay. Think of it that way. That's how intentional you have to be. Has this person demonstrated a skill set that you believe makes them ready for prime time as it relates to being president of the Hartford City Council? If you could vote for the president of the Hartford City Council, who would it be? Would it be Jimmy Sanchez, the current majority leader? Would it be TJ Clark, who has been president of the council? Would it be Molly Rosado, who also serves on the town committee? Shirley Surgeon, former registrar of voters, and she's the vice chair of the Upper Albany NRZ. Nick LeBron, he's a community organizer, therapist, co-chair of the Regional Advisory Council for the State of Connecticut Department of Children and Families. Marilyn Rossetti, she's the executive director of the Open Hearth, a Hartford men's shelter, right? The Open Hearth is a Hartford men's shelter. And she also served on city council from 1999 to 2003. So she has some council experience. Been on council. She was on council for 2 terms. That's back when the terms were two-year terms. Okay, so she served 2 terms. All right, means she had to run for election twice. Only 2-year terms, but nonetheless. Suzanne Beckett. Do you think that Suzanne Beckett would make a good president of the council? She is an estate planning and real estate and bankruptcy lawyer. Okay. She deals with bankruptcy, real estate, and plan. Now, bankruptcy is, that's a question that hasn't come up much in any of the debates, but Hartford is still quite precarious when it comes to its financial footing. Okay. Well, here's somebody who actually is a bankruptcy lawyer. Suzanne Beckett. Do you think she would make a good member of the Hartford City Council in terms of potentially being president of the council, and as president of the council could become mayor if something happens to the mayor? Okay. Tiana Hercules, a staff attorney at the Greater Hartford Legal Aid and Services on the board and serves, on the board of NINA, an Asylum Hill revitalization group. Do you think that Tiana Hercules would make a good council president? Frederick Bentley III is an entrepreneur with a small business services startup. I don't know him. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that I don't know of the 18. This is 1/3. Corey Betts, formerly incarcerated individual who works with youth involved with the criminal justice system at Our Piece of the Pie. Do you think that Corey would make a good president of the council? I don't know why. I like Corey. I like Corey Betts. I don't know whether that hurts him or helps him, but I like him. All right. Now, I have not given my endorsement to any of the 6. I haven't named my 6 yet, but I like him. That's all I'm saying. All right. Yeah, you connect with people. There's just something about him that's very genuine. Real, unpretentious. Glorabel Diaz, a nurse. I don't know her, but do you think she would make a good president of the council? Eliezer Mercado, a community organizer and a district sales manager for Frito-Lay. He's been around a while, very active, very engaged, very involved with the community. I know him. I mean, I don't know. He's not deep friend. I've been out for coffee and all that. But I mean, I've run into him. We've talked, conversated. Seems like a decent guy. Okay. Do you think he would make a good president of the council? Councilperson Arjo Wench. Well, I've known Arjo for years. I like Arjo. Arjo is a friend of mine. And I find her to be actively engaged and someone who is very, very concerned about her community and uncompromising. That is my experience with Arjo. I can't speak for anybody else. That's my experience with Arjo. Okay. And she was like that when I was in direct competition with people who she was supporting for mayor. She's always been genuine, always been real, never let politics get in the way of friendship. And, and she just became a friend. She's also a producer here at accesstv.org. So, I've heard people criticize Arjo. I have friends that don't get along with her at all. But that's them. I don't let my friends pick my friends. Some people do that. Some people's minds are not free. Just like the plantation. You know, people can't lead the plantation. They couldn't pick a candidate if their lives depend upon it, because they'd wait for someone to tell them what to do. Okay? And some people like that when it comes to friends. You know, if you're going to be so-and-so friend, you can't be my friend. Well, then I guess I won't be your friend. All right, so all of my friends already know that don't work. So, but I have friends who don't like Arjo. But I like Arjo. She's my friend. I can't speak for you. That's what I'm saying. You got to do your own research. Ed Caceres Jr. He's a good man. Former fire chief, okay, who works as a facilities safety officer for the community renewal team. Claudette Graham is a nurse. Claudette Rivera, who works with the community renewal team after retiring several years ago from Connecticut Innovations, the state's entrepreneurial organization. Gladys Rivera. Rafael Santiago, he's a young man. He's a nice young man. I've had occasion to talk to him many times over the years. He's a North End community activist. And then, of course, Ronald Simpson. I know Ronald. I won't say I know him very well, but I know him and have respect for him. He's a regional manager for the State Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities. He is very capable. It's like someone is racing around the block. This car keeps going up the street. And I mean, they're flying. I don't have speed bumps on my street. I don't want them on my street. I don't like speed bumps because it tear up the bottom of my car. I have to almost go around a whole block because my car is low. And my exhaust system, it get tore up on several occasions going over these silly speed bumps in Hartford. All right, there are other ways to keep traffic down, but that's another subject for another day. All right, besides putting speed bumps. Speed bumps turn into a status symbol and a political connectedness. It's a Band-Aid on an open gunshot wound. That's what a speed bump is. It is a way to pacify people about a problem. The problem is not a lack of or the presence of speed bumps. The problem is a sense of lawlessness in the city because rules aren't enforced. Because all the people that speed through Hartford don't speed through Bloomfield or Windsor, and they most certainly don't speed through Weathersfield, okay, or Rocky Hill. Some towns, the people act like they have sense. As soon as they cross the border, turn the radio down, put the seatbelts on, all that happens because there's an ingrained, intuitive notion that we crossing the city border, we got to act like they might stop us for something. People come into Hartford to be reckless. They know they can't ride, ATVs and off-road motocross bikes in Bloomfield and all over the place, down the streets, in front of City Hall, but they can do it in Hartford. Hey, let's get together and ride around Hartford recklessly on our motorcycles just because. They're not going to do nothing. All right, that's it. We've given everybody time. We've made sure we've answered any questions that people have. The election's coming up. Next Thursday, there's a debate that has been confirmed. It will be taking place at Fox 61's studios. It will be taped next Thursday. It will be live streamed on Fox 61's Facebook page, and I would imagine other places as people will probably share it. But the point of origin will be from Fox 61's Facebook page. All right, so there's a debate next Thursday, the 29th. It will take place at Fox 61 Studios. To the best of my knowledge, it is not open to the public, and then it will be broadcast on Sunday in place of The Real Story and Stan Simpson Show. That is what I was told. All right, and that will be not this Sunday, but the following. So the 29th is the date of the taping and live Facebook. And then I think it's the 1st of... Alexa, what's the date next Sunday?
Next Sunday will be Sunday, August 25th, 2019.
Alexa, what is the date 2 Sundays from now?
There are 53 August 22nd, 2019, August 22nd, 2019 at 2 a.m. Sunday calendar dates, including January 5th, January 12th, January 19th, January 26th, and 49 more.
September the 1st. I just thought she would answer the question. September the 1st will be the broadcast date of the Fox 61 debate. From what I understand, the League of Women Voters, along with Fox 61, will be doing the debate. There's another debate on September the 3rd. The hotly contested debate that was going to be on the 26th has been moved to September the 3rd. That debate is at the crown jewel of arts in terms of showcase for the African American community, better known as the Artist Collective. And that debate starts at 6 o'clock. It will be September the 3rd. I understand it will be 3 hours, and there is the possibility that a network is going to cover it, from what I was told. And it will be a really, really engaging debate, I understand. The 2 petitioning candidates and the 2 endorsed candidates will be there. One of the endorsed candidates, myself, is not in the primary. Okay, but the 2 endorsed candidates and the 2 petitioning candidates will be in this debate. That will be on the 3rd, Tuesday, the 3rd of September, at the Artist Collective. Starts at 6 o'clock. It's open to the public. It is free. And the expectation of the people who are putting the debate on is that the public will be involved and engaged and will please show up. And so that's what I was told. So there are a series of debates. Those are the only ones that I'm aware of that I'm involved in. The mayoral debates that do not involve me, you will have to find out about on your own. I am not going to help publicize opportunities for you to listen to my opponents. But I don't mind telling you about the ones that I will be in. So the ones I'm in will be next Thursday. It's taped at Fox 61 Studios. And on September the 3rd, that is at the Artist Collective. Okay? So, that is where we stand right now. And I really, 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 really do encourage you to watch the one on Fox and to participate and attend the one that is going to be on the 3rd at the Artist Collective. We have covered all questions that people had, and so we will go out with our Vote for Stan song. My friends, thanks for joining us. Those of you who watch this on demand, if you have any questions or comments that you would like to ask me, feel free to give me a call. My number is 860-944-9797. I'm always available to talk to you, particularly if you're a resident of Hartford. If you're someone that loves, laughs, lives, learns, or labors in the city of Hartford, I consider you a constituent, and as such, I'm applying to work for you. Call me anytime, and if I can, I most certainly will talk to you. God bless you. God bless the city of Hartford, and we'll see you not next Thursday or the Thursday after, but our next time on the air together will be the Thursday after the election. God bless you, and the best of luck to all of those candidates that are running in the general election.
Hey, Hartford, Connecticut, I'm talking to you. We got to get out and vote. Vote for Stan McCauley. It's our time. We got to rise up and take it back. Vote for Stan McCauley.
Vote for Stan. You gotta vote for Stan McCauley. Vote for Stan. Vote for Stan. Oh yeah.
It's more than politics than just what your social covers. And it ain't somewhere written down in bold letters. Don't just take my word for it, do your research. Think of your future, look at your bigger picture. Suit and tie, clean up, unity for the righteous. Plotting on action, hands-on access. With a light source vision, door-to-door knocking. Guerrilla style marketing, brainstorm as a collective. Real neighborhood suggestions. Only we know what it is where we living. To make real life decisions. Move on facts, make a manifest back.
You gotta vote for Stan McCauley. Vote for Stan. Vote for Stan. Vote for Stan. Oh yeah. Look at your city. Stop. Take a look around. Is opportunity flow into your house? Are you working? Wait, can you save some money? And is your neighborhood safe? Or is it a homicide every night? Get out and vote. You go and vote. We can change it, yeah.